Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum class. Today we will discuss about the performance and compensation management. That is also the title of your subject in this semester. There are two components in this title and that can be studied as a separate titles. One is the performance management, the other one is the compensation management. So before going further, we should understand these terms, the most important terms, that is the compensation and performance as far as the overall organization is concerned or the organizational performance is concerned. Now, what is the compensation? Compensation includes the rewards employees receive for performing their jobs. So all the rewards you will receive as a result of performing a particular job in an organization, that will be included as the compensation. There are different types of compensation. There can be the intrinsic compensation, extrinsic compensation, which may include the tangible rewards or the intangible rewards. We will discuss all of these components of the compensation in detail. Compensation is a systematic approach to providing monetary value to the employees in exchange for work performed. So not necessarily that may be the monetary value, that may also be the non-monetary value in the form of intangible sort of components. But more importantly, it is a sort of systematic approach which may provide you the different sort of rewards in performing different types of jobs in the organization. Compensation may achieve several purposes, assisting in recruitment, job performance, and job satisfaction. So this component of human resource management is also helpful and purposeful for the different other components and dimensions of the human resource management functions, that is the recruitment, job performance, job satisfaction, and similar other functions of human resource management. So compensation management. Compensation management is the process of managing, analyzing, and determining the salary, incentives, and benefits each employee receives. So there are the different sort of strategies related to the compensation which can be included in the compensation management in order to reward the employees in the organization. That may be the performance based salary, that may be the incentives based salary, that may be the merit based salary, incentive based salary. There can be the different benefits which can also be included in compensation. So it is the process of managing, analyzing, and determining all these sort of compensation components which the employee receives after performing a particular job in the organization. Compensation managers aim to attract, retain, and engage employees. Now, this is very important. The purpose of the compensation is to retain the employees for the benefit of the organization by offering broad and competitive compensation plans within the company budget. So the main purpose of the compensation, along with the many other purposes we will discuss in detail, is to attract and retain the employees and engage the employees so that they can perform to the maximum, and for the benefit of the organization and to achieve the predetermined objectives of the organization. Now let's discuss about the performance. Now this is the most important word, and all the organizations are interested in this sort of concept so that they can achieve a maximum out of the employees. Now, what is the performance? Performance is a concept which may convey different meanings for the different organizations, for the different individuals. There can be many dimensions and the components of performance. For example, productivity is a component of performance, efficiency is the performance, effectiveness is the performance, punctuality is the performance. So all these are the important components of performance. They can be the hundreds of the components of performance. So what is the performance actually is? It is a sort of concept which may have the different meanings for the different organizations. It means that for some organization maybe the efficiency is most important or productivity is most important. For the other organizations maybe the punctuality is the most important and quality is the most important. So that depends on the organization, that what are the most important components of a performance for that particular organization. Employee performance is defined as how an employee fulfills their job duties and executes their required tasks. It refers to the effectiveness, quality, and efficiency of their output. So these are the different dimensions of the output. Performance also contributes to our assessment of how valuable an employee is to the organization. Now let's discuss about the performance management. Performance management is an ongoing process of communication between a supervisor and an employee that occurs throughout the year in support of accomplishing the strategic objectives of the organization. Now, class, this is very important, that performance management is an actually ongoing process and that can be carried out throughout the year within the organization. And it is a very important function of the human resource management. And most importantly, whenever we discuss about the performance management, we should discuss it for accomplishing the strategic objectives of the organization. Strategically, the performance management function is the most important function of HRM that supports all the other dimensions of HRM actually. So these are most important function of human resource management, and of course we will discuss in detail in the preceding lectures about this performance management. Now we were discussing about the compensation, and I told you that there can be the different types of compensation. The most important types of compensation may be the intrinsic compensation and extrinsic compensation. Intrinsic compensation is the fulfillment of motivation that keeps an employee motivated to work. They are intangible and come from within the person doing the activity. So most importantly, in order to remind that what is intrinsic compensation, these are sort of intangible rewards which the employee can get out of performance of their particular jobs. फॉर एग्जाम्पल इफ़ द जॉब आप जो जॉब कर रहे हैं किसी भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में, अगर उसकी वर्किंग कंडीशन बहुत अच्छी हैं, ठीक है, तो डैट कैन बी इंक्लूडेड एज द इंट्रिंसिक कंपनसेशन. अगर आपकी जो जॉब है इसमें आपको उस वो जॉब परफॉर्म करने के लिए बहुत सी वैरायटी है और आपके लिए ग्रोथ के बहुत ज़्यादा चांसेस हैं, तो डैट कैन आल्सो बी द सॉर्ट ऑफ इंट्रिंसिक कंपनसेशन. So basically the intrinsic compensation may be in the form of intangible sort of rewards, and these rewards are usually get out of performance of the work in the organization, through which there will be the motivation for the employee. The other type of compensation is the extrinsic compensation. Extrinsic compensation is a tangible award given to an employee for accomplishing something. They can be the monetary rewards as well as non-monetary rewards. Monetary rewards you can get in the form of salary, in the form of bonuses, in the form of different allowances, and we will discuss the different components of this extrinsic compensation in detail as well. And that there can also be the non-monetary rewards which can be included as a part of extrinsic compensation. These non-monetary rewards may be a certificate of appreciation, a certificate of as a result of your achievement. So all these are non-monetary rewards which can be included as a part of extrinsic compensation. There is a very important model which is set as job characteristic model. You must have learned about this model, but I am going to again discuss this job characteristic model here. There are four core job dimensions according to this job characteristics model. Now these are the different dimensions which makes a job more attractive for an individual and for an employee. So let's discuss what are these dimensions. The 5 dimensions which are included in this model are skill variety, task identity, task significance, autonomy, and feedback. These are the dimensions. Let's discuss one by one each of these dimensions. Skill variety. What is the skill variety? Skill variety is the characteristic of the job if a lot of variety is required in performing that particular job. So that will be termed as skill variety. If there is a job which requires more of the skills in performance in performing that particular job, that will be termed as skill variety. There are the different types of jobs which can be done by using the different sort of skills and variety. Let's take the example of a painter. If we see the job of a painter, so you will see that there's not a variety in performance that in performing that particular job. क्योंकि पेंटर ने अगर पेंट करना है तो वह बस एक ब्रश पकड़ेगा और अपना पेंट करना स्टार्ट कर देगा, लेकिन इसमें किसी किस्म की वैरायटी उसको चाहिए नहीं है, जिसको हम कहेंगे कि इसमें इस किस्म की जॉब में कोई वैरायटी नहीं है। इसके ऑपोजिट अगर हम एक मोटर मैकेनिक की एग्जांपल लें, मोटर मैकेनिक की जो जॉब है उसमें बहुत बहुत से स्किल्स आपको रिक्वायर्ड होते हैं। अब सुबह से शाम तक जब भी वो कोई अपनी जॉब को परफॉर्म कर रहा होगा तो उसके पास डिफरेंट किस्म के कस्टमर्स आएंगे और डिफरेंट किस्म की प्रॉब्लम्स लेकर आएंगे, और उन प्रॉब्लम्स को सॉल्व करने के लिए he may have used different sort of skills. So as compared to the painter, मोटर मैकेनिक की जो जॉब है उसमें आपकी बहुत ज़्यादा स्किल वैरायटी होगी. So that is meant by the skill variety. So skill variety refers to the degree to which a job requires a variety of different activities in carrying out the work, which involves the use of a number of different skills and talents of a person. Therefore, it follows that the individual will be required to develop a variety of talents and skills. The second important dimension of job characteristic model is the task identity. Task identity means that how much identifiable your job is or your task is. And if the job is more identifiable, then it will be having this characteristic and the job will be considered as more attractive. It is the degree to which the job requires completion of a whole identifiable piece of work, that is doing a job from beginning to end with visible outcome. So more important, it indicates that how identifiable your job is. For example, if you take the example of a musician and a singer, लेकिन एक सिंगर की आपने देखें कि एक सिंगर जब एक सॉन्ग उसका हिट होता है तो वो जो सिंगर जो होता है वो बहुत ज़्यादा पॉपुलर हो जाता है, क्योंकि इसकी जॉब जो है या उसका जो टास्क है वो बहुत ज़्यादा आइडेंटिफाइबल हो जाता है। इसके ऑपोजिट जो बैक एंड पे म्यूजिशियन होता है, हालांकि उसकी इंपॉर्टेंस बहुत ज़्यादा होती है लेकिन वो इतना ज़्यादा पॉपुलर उस तरीके से नहीं होता, बिकॉज ऑफ लेस आइडेंटिटी एंड आइडेंटिफाइबिलिटी ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर टास्क. दैट इज meant by the task identity. Another important dimension of this task identity is that the workers tend to find more meaning in their jobs when they can identify a complete and visible outcome at the end of the day or of a work cycle. And this involves being able to work on an entire work process rather than just on bits and pieces of it. Therefore, it is important to assess whether the job or task has a clearly defined beginning, middle, and end. The third important characteristic is task significance. Task significance is the importance of a particular task and job. It is said to be the degree to which the job has a substantial impact on the lives of the other people, whether those people are in the immediate organization or in the world at a large. So there are jobs which are most important for the other people in the organization and for the executives as well. So that will be having the task significance, and the importance and the significance of that particular job will be more. As we discussed the example of the musician, that its significance is more if the musician is not there, जो singer है उसका song उतना ज़्यादा popular शायद ना हो, so the significance is there and it may have the impact on the lives of the other people. Similarly, if you take the example of hospital, तो आपके sweepers जो होते हैं उनकी significance, क्योंकि overall cleanliness, especially in the today's environment of COVID, जो cleanliness उनकी जो that is very important, उनकी significance जो होती है वो बहुत ज़्यादा हो जाती है. तो task significance is basically concerned that how much that particular job has the impact on the lives of the other people. The fourth important dimension of job characteristic model is the autonomy. And autonomy refers to the freedom a person will have in performing a particular job, that how much freedom and how much authority he has in to perform a particular job. If a particular job has more freedom and autonomy, that will be considered as more attractive. So it is the degree to which the job provides substantial freedom, independence, and discretion to the individual in scheduling the work and in determining the procedure to be used in carrying out uh, a particular job. So if the more independence is there and the employee gets the chance to perform his job in his own way and in scheduling the different activities of the particular job, and autonomy in performing the other particular aspects of the particular job, that job will be considered to have more autonomy. And if there is more autonomy and independence, that job will be more attractive. So that is another job characteristic. The fifth and the last characteristic of job characteristic model is the feedback, whether a particular job will have the feedback or not. This particular aspect of the job refers to the degree that whether an employee who's performing a particular job is getting about the information that how effectively and efficiently is performing his job. If he's not giving any sort of feedback or any sort of information about the effectiveness of his particular job, it means that characteristic is missing in that particular job. So it refers to the degree to which carrying out the work activities required by the job provides the individual with the direct and clear information about the effectiveness of his job or performance. So if the feedback is there, that characteristic is there, then the job will be more attractive. And this is again important characteristic of any particular job. So Nicholas, this is a very important model. There is a very popular model. You can see this model in every HRM book. And how it is related to the compensation, the satisfaction or motivation you will receive through this job characteristic model and the different dimensions of the job, that will be included as the intrinsic compensation, because these are the sort of intangible rewards, so that may be included. Now let's discuss about the different elements of core compensation. In every sort of compensation, there is usually a base pay, and which may include hourly pay or annual salary. And there are some other adjustments to that base pay. These adjustments may include the cost of living allowances, that is the allowances which usually the entrepreneur or the organization gives as a result of the certain inflation in a particular country or region. That adjustment may also include the merit-based pay or the pay for knowledge, skill-based pay, incentive pay, and or the seniority pay. So these are the different components of compensation. We will discuss each of these components in detail as a separate chapters and as the separate lectures. Now let's discuss about the compensation factors. There are four important compensatory factors. The first factor is the employee's skill level. So whenever you want to compensate an employee within the organization, you'll have to see that what skill level that employee has. Of course, if the employee has more skills and more varieties of skills, then he will be compensated more. The second important component is the employee effort, that how much effort the employee will exert in performing a particular job. So if he's putting all the efforts to perform the job in a better way, again he will be compensated accordingly. The third important component of compensation is the employee's level of responsibility. The higher the level of responsibility, the higher the compensatory rewards he will get. And the severity of the working condition is also very important. If the working conditions are severe and hard, accordingly the compensation can be adjusted for the different employees. For example, there can be the hard area allowance for the particular employees who are going to perform their jobs in the hard areas. So working conditions also play a very important role while deciding about the different compensations about the individual. Now, another important aspect of compensation is that we will have to have a sort of strategic, view when we are going to compensate the employees. So, strategic decisions and strategic management and strategic planning role is very much there. So, when we will discuss the different compensation components, we will try to discuss it with respect to the strategic management point of view and strategic compensation point of view. Strategic decisions guide the activities of the companies in the market, and strategic management entails judgments that direct a company towards achieving the particular jobs and particular goals. Then strategic planning support the different business objectives. So we will discuss the compensation with respect to strategic point of view. That is most important, that we will see it from the long term perspective and from the perspective. Now, as I discussed earlier, that performance has the different sort of dimensions, and all of these dimensions are important accordingly for the different individuals and for the different organizations. And we will also discuss this perspective of performance management with respect to the changing environment, with respect to the changing technology, with respect to the globalization, and with respect to the other aspects of environment. Now let me tell you about the environment. Environment includes all the forces which can affect the organization in one way or the other, which can directly affect the organization directly or indirectly. So there are the different types of environments. They can be the external environment, they can be the internal environment, they can be the competitive environment. In order to discuss the performance management and compensation management in detail, and to relate it to the different environments, it is important to understand all of these environments of the organization. So I will send you the lectures related to the environment, and before discussing the next week lecture, you should go through all the lectures related to the organizational environment. So it's enough for today's lecture, and I will send you the lectures about the organizational environment today.